So people are they came out and protesting, and a lot of violence has happened because of the two protesters, pro-democracy and then pro-royalist. They came in against each other, so there were blood, so it was a mess.
3 mois que les rues de Bangkok, capitale thaïlandaise, voient défiler des dizaines de milliers de manifestants. Le jeudi 15 octobre, l'état d'urgence annonçait l'interdiction des rassemblements de plus de 4 personnes et la proscription des publications en ligne jugées contraires à la sécurité nationale. Défiant le pouvoir, ces militants pro-démocratie réclament le départ du général Prayut Chan-o-cha au pouvoir depuis un coup d'État en 2014 et l'instauration d'une vraie démocratie parlementaire.
We are protesting against the government. As they have failed us to govern the country, since the coup d'État in 2014, when now Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has taken over as a military junta prime minister. Since then, it's been 6 years. So people are they came out and protesting, and a lot of violence has happened because of the two protesters, pro-democracy and then pro-royalist. They came in against each other, so there were blood, so it was a mess. And so last year they decided to finally have the general election again, but this dictatorship government, they still cheat their way in with the collecting number of the senators, which they shoot, about 250 senators, set of the senators. And so the prime minister could make sure that this set of people could be the number that would select him and, make sure that he will remain as a prime minister since the coup d'etat, even though his party completely lost to the new party, which is the Future Forward, party. And so later on this year, because the Future Forward party won the election and with the vote, but obviously the prime minister got this set of number of senators. So he got this number, 250, even though he's lost. So he won by cheating in. So he decided to dissolve the Future Forward Party. So the Future Forward Party is no longer in the cabinet, as the opposition. It's very bad for the democracy that they claim that they are in this country. Also, the young people are protesting against the lèse-majesté law.
Jeudi 19 novembre, le Premier ministre Prayut Chan-o-cha a menacé d'utiliser toutes les lois contre les manifestants. Les menaces du Premier ministre signifient l'invocation de la fameuse loi de lèse-majesté, parmi les plus sévères au monde. En juin, il avait indiqué que le roi lui avait demandé que l'article 112 du Code pénal ne soit pas utilisé. En vertu de la loi de lèse-majesté, tout acte jugé insultant contre la famille royale est punissable de peine pouvant aller jusqu'à 15 ans d'emprisonnement.
Since 2014, there are a lot of people that were arrested and put in jail because of this law, even though they didn't do. So basically, people want this constitution to be reformed in a way that Thai people could be more participated or involved, have more voice and have true democracy as it should be in this country. Because in the past, our constitution has been written and ripped up and written and ripped up so many times. So there is no steady constitution that would, actually belongs to the people. There has been no transparency in this government, in this cabinet, especially how they govern the country and use our taxes in order to get, good water, good transportation in the city like Paris, right? And we don't have that. We still have the 30 years old cranky buses. But recently, we have seen that the government have reviewed that they have bought, the war equipment like the submarine, or they pay, you know, the monarchy has used our tax money for building their house, for the dog's house, for something ridiculous, you know. So we can't stand this anymore. So we want the constitution to be reformed and make sure that we deserve what we should be reserving, you know, with our money. So since some of the younger people, the university student has come out as with the protest against the government. So they are the group of high school students that also come out to against the, you know, the system as well. They call themselves a bad student group. Mm-hmm. Because they've been calling bad students from, you know, the adults, the teachers, the government, because they want something else. They want to change it in the education system. So basically, their first ever protest was at the Ministry of Education. They are demanding the Minister of Education, who's been failing them in doing his job. They want him to resign, and if he cannot meet their 3 demands, which is stop harassing students, reform the school system, and the old-fashioned dictatorship system in education has to go. So it's, you know, something need to change it and stop dehumanize the student by, you know, all these rules. Yeah, so they just come out and want changes in the school system, you know, because it's basically the dictatorship system and it started in school.
Dans les écoles, le harcèlement sexuel par des professeurs n'est pas rare. Les enseignants sont autorisés à utiliser la violence contre leurs élèves. Selon les Nations Unies, près de 90% des cas de viol dans le royaume ne sont pas dénoncés par peur des représailles. En Thaïlande, c'est près d'une femme sur 5 qui est victime de viol.
The protest moved forward to the German embassy in Bangkok. It has definitely surprised and shaken a lot of conservatives here, which most of them are the baby boomer generation, you know, our parents' generation. Obviously, going to Germany, a German embassy is a move that represents that the young people are daring to touch the sensitive subject that has never been touched before, which is the Thai monarchy. And it's never has been done that way before. Nobody could never, you know, touch the monarchy, but the student, they feel like they can do that in order to make change. Our king, Rama X, has spent, I think, most of his time in Germany and his hotel, and maybe he ruled the country from there, which is from the German government. They say that if they investigate such a thing with the king, if they found out that he ruled the countries outside Thailand, it's also against the law in Germany, and it's not good for Thai people.